Hi, I'm Dustin Abbott, and I have done a number of motorized gimbal reviews in the past, and I certainly think that they're really fantastic tools for doing video work and getting the kind of footage that, it used to be only available to industry professionals using big dolly systems. And so both the advent of the ability of DSLRs and mirrorless cameras to get amazing video footage, along with motorized gimbal systems like this, has really opened up a whole new world of creativity. So I'm here today to give you a first look and kind of an unboxing of the newest stabilizer that comes from Gudsen, which is the Moza Air Cross. Now, I've actually previously reviewed the Moza Air several months ago, and it has become kind of my go-to main gimbal system for the kind of heavier combinations that I use. And so I can even use my full frame DSLRs and heavier lenses on that. And so it's certainly great if you need to use heavier gear. However, there's also a recognition that for many people, the extra weight of a gimbal system like that is just unnecessary because you primarily use a smaller, lighter mirrorless system or light DSLR, and so as a result you don't need both the heavier abilities and the higher price tag, and of course just the weight that comes from using a heavier gimbal system with the heavier motors to accommodate for that. So the Air Cross is designed to give you basically all the functionality of the Moza Air, which is an amazing gimbal, but in a smaller, lighter package for payloads up to about 1.8 kilos. And so as a result, we'll take a look in here and just take a look at what it boils down to. Now, in terms of price, the basic Moza Air Cross comes in at nearly $200 less than the bigger Moza Air. It comes in, a very nice secure case with custom inserts for everything. And so as a result, of course, obviously, this is one of the strengths of these. They arrive very, very well protected. And so as far as the actual handle assembly, it's a familiar 3 battery system like I saw in the Moza Air itself. These are 26350 batteries, and so it uses 3 of those, which it comes with. And the handle itself has a lot of soft touch materials, much like the big brother, the Moza Air itself. Now, the gimbal itself, assembly itself, is lighter, and it's got a few kind of added bonus features that I'll highlight to you here in a moment. So as with the Moza Air, it's just a matter of screwing the battery portion of the handle into the assembly itself. Now, the gimbal itself is physically smaller, as you would expect, and so it's not designed for quite as heavy combinations, but it has kind of the typical different parts where you can stabilize and you can establish. Now, one of those things that I've noted that's a difference here, kind of, I think is a plus, is that a lot of gimbal systems, or people that use gimbal systems, they tend to add on something like a quick release plate, and so maybe if they have kind of a go-to combination, they can actually utilize that more quickly. So recognizing that the Moza Air Cross actually has the quick release plate system actually built right in. And so it does come with a quick release plate that comes with it that you can utilize there, and it has the ability to easily move that kind of backwards and forward some to help you with the actual balancing process. But the way that it's designed is that it is also compatible. There's a little accessory piece that comes here that can screw into this as a part of it. And so what it allows you to do is that, in this situation, I've got it set up to where it is compatible now with Arca Swiss. And so it may be that, instead of messing with the quick release plate, you want to just utilize the quick release plate you may already have on your camera with your carry system or whatever. So you can go right to it with that, and then also with that plate, and you can there's just a little release thing where that can be taken off. You can also switch over to a Manfrotto type plate, what it also is compatible with. So kind of a huge pro there on that. The other thing that helps to separate this from the other option is that it has, up on the top here, it has a little DC outlet. And so what it allows you to do is overcome what is one of the kind of the primary obstacles with filming, particularly with, for example, I'm filming right now on the Sony A6500. Now, A6500 produces great footage, which is why I use it, but one limitation it does have is that it burns through batteries really fast, particularly when you're shooting 4K, as I am right now. So what this is, and this, by the way, ships, if you order right now for the next week or so, 2 weeks, it comes free included with this, but it's kind of a dummy battery system. And so what it can do is you can plug into the gimbal assembly here. You can actually put this into the battery compartment where it functions as a dummy battery. There's also options. This is the Sony one. I've also got an option here since I use Canons also. This is for like the EP E6 or LP E6 a battery size. It will fit up in there and give you kind of a phantom power. What you can do then is, particularly if you're kind of doing a bigger setup, and I'll show you in a second, you're utilizing like the handle system, you can actually plug in an external battery source, battery pack into the handle, and then of course, just run that assembly cable, over onto the handle system, and hide all the cables so it's out of your way. But what you're then basically doing is you are providing a much longer term battery source for filming, and so you can extend your filming period for a much greater period. Now I just, for example here, I just brought along a very small external battery pack, but it just gives you an idea of what you could accomplish. You could hook up a much more durable, and so you could shoot all day if you're using the right kind of assembly. So that's certainly a unique way to solve a problem that some people, particularly those that film with some of the Sony cameras that burn through batteries fast, it's certainly a way around that. Now, in terms of charging options, you've got a couple of options. As I've already noted, this is a micro USB port in the handle, and so you can actually charge batteries in there. You can also use a battery charger, and this is identical to one that I already have for the Moza Air itself, and it is a battery charger that will allow you to charge up to 4 different size battery packs at a time. And so it's also handy if you've got some other size, kind of abnormally sized batteries to be charged. And this just utilizes a 2 amp USB 2.0 charging source, and so you can plug into the many common USB charging ports that we have here. Now, just take a quick look at some of the other optional accessories that you can add to the Moza Air Cross if you're so inclined. One that I think is super handy, and I recommend for a lot of reasons, and that is this little tripod system here that allows you to just very simply add feet to the base of this. This gives you a lot of versatility. For one thing, of course, the Air Cross can be controlled remotely via the free app, and so that you can control it in that way. And so it's a very simple thing. Like for me, for example, a lot of times I'm wanting to get really stable footage, or I want to actually film a camera rotating around to highlight a lens or something like you can see in this footage. So what you can do is very easily with these tripod feet, just add that on there, remotely control the Air Cross itself, and boom, there you go. You can get your footage, you can have complete control via that. The other place, of course, where this is really handy is in the actual balance process, to where you're trying to get everything balanced out. It just allows you to have a nice, stable surface in which to get your camera on there, do your balancing, rather than trying to hold on to it with one hand and to do the balancing with the other hand. And so I find it also very handy for that purpose. So that's certainly an accessory that I can recommend. I should just note that included in the box that come with the assembly is a couple of control cables that if they match your camera system, you can actually just connect from. There is a micro USB port right here at this motor assembly. You can connect into the camera, and then you can from either this switch, or if you're utilizing the app or a thumb switch, you can actually have some camera control, starting video, different functionality like that. So another accessory that I think is worth considering if you're shooting a lot of footage and you're fighting fatigue, although fatigue is a little less of an issue here, it is Moza does sell the assembly that allows you to add on a dual handle system. And so, I mean, this is very, very easy to set up. I've noted that they've actually done a fresh design of this since the handles for the Moza Air. And so it's a little bit ergonomically superior. The thumb screw, and all of this is toolless, by the way, but the thumb screw I find is just a little bit easier to utilize and allows you to torque that and get the pressure on it that you need. So then it's very easy to just add this whole assembly onto the air cross itself, tighten it down, and then you can utilize a two-handle system that, of course, just balances the fatigue on this and allows you, of course, to film for a much longer period. And so that's certainly a handy accessory. Then one final accessory that, particularly if you're going to utilize the two-handle system, or if you want to kind of control the camera remotely, you can also get this thumb controller that just, again, it's micro USB charged, so it's got a built-in battery pack. What this allows you to have control over is, for one thing, it's an actual physical thumbstick, which is ergonomically superior than, trying to just touching your screen and doing it on that. I do prefer that. But the other thing that's very handy about this, if you're utilizing this kind of two-handle system, is that it's quite easy to mount this onto the assembly here and then to be able to just reach over with your thumb and actually control the gimbal assembly from that. And so another optional accessory that may make a big difference for you, and you can further utilize even control over the camera itself through that, and obviously full control over the gimbal, the different modes. You can switch between yaw follow, pitch follow, yaw and pitch, all lock, all of those different things that might be a part of the different kinds of shots that you're trying to get. One other thing that I do want to highlight that's a part of the air cross that is great through the app itself is the ability, like the Air before, you can actually program in time-lapse movement and program in time lapses through the app. So you're kind of corresponding, and to show you how this works, you can take a look at this video that I recorded for the Air, which will show you how this works. But essentially it allows you to program in movement, and so rather than just having a static time-lapse shot, you can actually have a dynamic time-lapse where you not only have the movement maybe of a sky or vehicles, but also you can have some pan movement, or you can have some tilt movement, whatever the case may be that you want to program in there to make it a kind of more vibrant dynamic shot. And so that's another kind of huge thing. So bottom line is that if the Moza Air, even if you like it but you say, well, that's overkill for what I need, it's too heavy for what I need, the Air Cross is really perfect for you. For one thing, it's going to save you, almost a third of the price off of the Moza Air, and give you, kind of the versatility that you need, that if all you do is mirrorless type shooting, this is going to be plenty. And I can verify from having used the Moza Air a lot, this is a great gimbal system. And of course, the addition of a few smart features, the integration of a quick release plate, the ability to have the phantom power if you're running into some powering type issues, these are options that might make a huge difference for you. And so, as I've mentioned previously, if you look in the linkage down below, you'll find some buying links there where you can purchase this, about $419 for the basic package. And then there's some other accessories that you can consider if you wanted those. But beyond that, right now, if you order at the moment, they are throwing in some extra value, some of the, the phantom power packs and whatever. And so you might want to consider that. I'm Dustin Abbott, and if you look in the description down below, you can find linkage to follow me on social media. And of course, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching today. Have a great day.